Good morning. We are on our way to do our first shakedown trip of the year for the boat. It's all de-winterized. Although the boat is full of fuel, the truck is not, so we're gonna have to stop and take on some fuel for the truck. And then we're just gonna go to a close lake, Canyon Lake, just because it's fairly close. And we're gonna put it through its paces, do some tests, make sure everything's firing on all cylinders, burn off some of the fuel, some of the old fuel that's been sitting since we winterized, and hopefully enjoy some sunshine and some water. It's just me today. For those of you in the know, I'm in the process of building another project. So now that summer's here, progress isn't going to stop completely. It's just going to slow down because it's summertime and it's lake season. So we're going to get to the lake as much as we can as well, and do remodeling project at the house, and hopefully get some work done on the other project as well. I'll put a link down in the description to that channel if you guys are interested and want to follow that process of the project that's under construction as well. That's a beast, coming along nicely, but like I said, just so that it doesn't consume me and it's summertime, we're going to spend some time at the lake as well. So without ado, let's hit the road. Alright, so we're going to chat a little bit while we are on our drive to the lake, do our shakedown. Boats are expensive. I mean, boat stands for bust out another 1,000. But over the, I don't know, several years that we've owned this boat, I do all my own maintenance. So I'm able to offset a lot of that cost because I do it myself. Only issue we've really had with the boat was after running hard several years ago. Most of the day we were actually on our last run. Had a boat full of seniors it was like a senior ditch day for my daughter, and we'd been running hard all day. The boat was running flawless, and then all of a sudden the starter decided to die. So that was the only major issue. But here's the thing. I did the starter replacement myself, and that's a pain in the butt, just because like on a truck or a car, you can get underneath the thing to replace the starter. You can't get underneath the boat. So to get to the starter, because it's way down in the bilge area, I mean, it's a 454, so if you're unfamiliar where the starter is, it's way down in the bottom on the, I guess, passenger side of a vehicle, and it's down there. So I had to take half the exhaust out on the one side just to get to it. Now, on top of the cost, so you could, it's not recommended, put just a regular starter for a car in a vehicle. It's not recommended because marine grade, a lot of materials are different, so they could sustain the moisture and all that kind of stuff. But the big thing is they're sparkless or they're sealed especially in the bilge area, because you have an enclosed container essentially that you could have a potential buildup of fumes from fuel, which could lead to an explosion. So the starter is significantly more. And to kind of put it in perspective, starter for a 454 truck is about brand new or rebuilt, whatever, is less than $100. It's like $70. Starter for the boat, marine grade, was like $240. So that's the difference. But I mean, on the outside they look essentially the same, but on a boat it's significantly more difficult to replace. But other than that, we haven't had any issues. The boat's a 93. It needs to be reupholstered, and I keep having stuff come up that prevents me from doing that in the off season. That's going to be a winter project because we're going to enjoy the hell out of it during the summer. So not going to be reupholstering it any time during the summer. She shows her age. At the time when I do the reupholstery on the boat, I'll polish her up and give her a nice once over to make her look refreshed. But doing my own maintenance, I mean, winterizing the boat, changing oil, repacking trailer bearings, drive oil, water pump, oil filters, fuel water separator, stuff like that. Those parts are relatively cheap. The filters are like maybe $18. Water pumps about $60, and I order most of this stuff online because that seems to be the cheapest place to get it. The oil is a little pricey because it's you can't use, like you could in a pinch, but you can't use typical car oil. Just you need something a little bit different because boat motors run different than car motors. You're in higher RPM for a substantially longer period of time, so you need an oil that can take the shearing effect a lot better. But other than that, I mean, nothing too significant in cost. I could see boat ownership being expensive if you have to pay storage fees for the boat because you can't keep it at your house, or if you aren't savvy enough to do your own maintenance. I could see the cost being substantial, but I'm not one of those guys. I do everything myself, mostly because I just don't trust anybody. I see all the horror stories of people, and quite frankly, if that ever happened to me, I'd probably kick you in the nuts if you tried to rip me off over something. But so I just do it myself. I enjoy it, and it gives me a sense of achievement doing it, and I know it's done. It may not be done right, but it was done to the best of my ability. Anyways, well, we got about probably another half hour or so before we're at the lake. We're in Apache Junction now. We topped off the fuel in the truck, so we're good to go. And the plan is just put the boat through the paces, stay close in case something happens and we need to get back to shore. We'll probably do that for about 15-20 minutes, let the boat get some heat in it, and then burn off some of this oldish fuel. So that's one thing I do when I winterize the boat, is I fill the tanks like full, so there's no headspace in the tanks, so you have less oxygen to get to the fuel. And every fuel up on the boat I add stable, marine grade stable to the fuel, and so far it's done really well as far as fires up without too much issue, and it's been a lot of fun. So we're gonna burn off a lot of fuel today, so we're gonna have some wide open throttle moments, check the sights, and see how Canyon Lake is doing after not being there in about, I don't know, 8 or 9 months. So stay tuned. Alright, so boat's floated, boat's running. Checking the stuff that we can't check when we're home, like the drive pressure, stuff like that. We got good pressure for the drive gear oil and stuff. We're full of fuel. I'm just gonna let the engine idle. We'll check for various stuff, get the radio going, and let the big dog eat. Real quiet day so far. One boat just launched in just after I did. They just took off. 4 guys in a fishing boat. So we're just gonna hang out, let the engine get some heat, play with the radio, and put it through its paces. Partially up the canyon, beautiful day. A lot of debris in the water, so you got to be careful you don't hit a log or whatever. Most of it's small stuff, but there are a few pretty big chunks of floating debris. So polarized sunglasses help out a lot. Cuts down the glare and you can see a lot of it. But anyways, everything's going good right now, so we'll continue on up, take some footage, beautiful lake, and have fun.